What's in the box? What's in the box? Well, in this box, there is a ton of physical media. So about a week ago, I guess now, week and a half ago, I went on to Whatnot, which I've been telling everybody and their grandmother to go check out Whatnot. It's a great auction website. And I feel like I need to put a hat on. I feel naked. I feel naked without a hat. There we go. It's a great website for baseball cards, wrestling cards, physical media, everything. I know I've sung the praises before. People know about it. But anyways, I got this entire box of physical media, maybe for $30. I mean, that's including shipping, because over there that you have to pay one time a big chunk of money for shipping for like one item, no matter what it is. So it's like between usually $3 and $5 for even if it's one baseball card or one DVD or Blu-ray. But after that, then they either do free shipping or like 80 cents per item shipping or whatever. So anyway, with the shipping cost, along with all the physical media, I probably got everything for like $30-ish, maybe. So let me show you what I did pick up. It was a lot of cool stuff. And there's all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason. The first up is the Magnificent Seven. Yes, the box set with all the movies. I believe the whole collection, except of course the brand new remake. But you have the Magnificent Seven. You have the Return of the Magnificent Seven. You have Guns of the Magnificent Seven and the Magnificent Seven Right Again. So there you have it. So they're all there. And this guy who did this auction out of, I believe he's from Arkansas, just kidding, Arkansas. He was on it. I appreciate it. I think I've people who've watched some of these videos before. It makes me nuts when people just like meander and they talk and they don't focus on what they're doing, which is trying to make money. It makes me lose my mind. So, so we have Fright of the Navigator. Flight of the Navigator. Flight of the Navigator, which is one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. You have Paul Reubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, not to be confused with Pee Wee Reese, who is one of the voices for this guy here. I can't remember his name, the little robot here. Let's see, they have his name on here. They do not, unfortunately, dag nabbit, but so yeah, so anyways, if you know this movie, you know your 80s childhood. I want to say this came out in like 86 maybe. Let me see if it says on here when the movie came out. Is it going to give me no whammies, no whammies? It does not. So this is like a bare bones edition, but it is widescreen. So there you have that. I'm not going to do that for the Magnificent Seven. I'd be here all day. But Sarah Jessica Parker's in here, which is great. This kid was in quite a few things in the 80s and early 90s. This is apparently a Disney exclusive. They have released a Blu-ray, I know, or 4K of this. It's really hard to find and for a decent price. So I will hold on to this until it comes across. Then I will pick it up. But Flight of the Navigator, round, 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 I get around, yeah. So, I love it. I love it. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I'm getting all emo. All right, the next up is another movie from the 80s I grew up loving. Let's see if this one has a date when it first came out as well. This is also a movie reward special from Disney. So you had to be in their like club, their special club, like the Knights of Columbus. Is that right? Knights of Columbus. What is it? The Secret Handshake. I forgot. All of a sudden, it's eluded me. But anyway, so this one does not have the year this came out. This sucks, man. Why do they not do that? So it's Return to Oz. I love this movie. When I was a kid, growing up, this movie used to scare the bejesus out of me. Fairuza Balk is a kid in this. She plays Dorothy. Fairuza Balk went on to be in Waterboy and American History X and The Craft. I mean, she's in tons of stuff. And she grew up. But in this, she plays Dorothy Gale from Kansas, I believe. Piper Laurie's in here as well. I think this is Fairuza Balk's first movie. But you have the Gnome King. You have Princess Mombi. You have Jack Pumpkinhead TikTok. The Gump. Not to be confused with Forrest Gump. You have the Wheelers, which are super creepy. But when I was a kid on Disney, I believe it was on Disney, this movie used to scare me to death. And again, get this movie for like $1. I got most of these movies for $1 because you'll see, I went through most of them. I got everything in here for like $1 to $2 total. It was like nuts. I couldn't believe how good of a deal it was. But I got this because it's in widescreen also. It's my childhood. I have not seen this movie or Fly the Navigator in probably 20 years, so at least. So I am thrilled to receive those. If anybody else, just quick PSA, if anyone else has ever seen Fly the Navigator or Return to Oz, please share your memories below. I would love to hear what your thoughts were of that film because it hits me right in the feels. Next one up was just for kicks and giggles. I couldn't pass it up for $1. I'd never really seen it in the wild. I don't know if it's rare or not, but I just had to get it. If you're a WWF wrestling fan, Mr. Nanny starring Hulk Hogan right there. Oh, Terry Bonilla. So Hulk Hogan is Mr. Nanny. You have Sherman Hemsley, who was George Jefferson is in this. And is that the only name that's in here that's recognizable? I believe so. So poor Sherman Hemsley, he was scraping the bottom of the barrel to show up in this bad boy. But this, again, is a movie that came out sometime in like the 1992. See, how hard is it? Thank you, New Line Cinema. They put it right on there, 1992. But the other one, no bueno. So anyways, so 1992 is right when Hulk Hogan's starting to cool off. He's no longer really a big thing anymore. He's kind of like wrestling. I think by 92, I think he's still with WWF, but he's about ready to head out the door. So anyways, Mr. Nanny, I saw it back then. I don't remember anything about it. I remember it being goofy and not probably, even as a kid, not very funny. But I picked it up because it's Hulk Hogan. Lots of nostalgia here. And it's a widescreen edition. And, I mean, this looks ridiculous. So this is like, you know, just the first 3 movies, aside from Magnificent Seven, is a true walk down memory lane. Next up is a sealed copy of Halloween. Not much to discuss. I have this, but I don't have it sealed, so I thought I'd pick it up again for $1. All these special features. I'm not going to pass up $1 sealed. And it's Anchor Bay. You'll hear me talk a lot about Anchor Bay. There's a bunch of movies, Studios Olive Films, Scream Factory, Scare Factory, is it Scream Factory, Scare Factory, Kino Lorber. There's all kinds out there. They're like the independent boutique labels that if you can find their stuff specially sealed, it's worth it. So there you have it. And then the last one, this is a shout out to my boy, Mark from Kentucky. He was like, dude, if you could find this wrestling box set, it's worth getting. And I looked it up online, and it was like between $15 and $30-ish, because I think it's out of print at this point. It's a lot of the old school wrestling. I'm not for sure this is the exact same one that Mark had, but when I saw this again, no one bid on it, and I said, do you have any wrestling? And the guy goes, I got 3 wrestling. He gave me this one right here, this DVD box set, and 2 VHS. So I'll show the DVD box set, this one right here. Wrestling Gold. 5 pile driving DVDs. 10 hours of wrestling mayhem. Special edition. You have Gary Von Erich. You have Dory and Terry Funk. You have Macho Man Randy Savage. You have the King Jerry Lawler. You have Jim Cornette. And then I think that the Fabulous Freebirds are down there. So anyways, I'm looking forward to checking this out. I have not seen it. I don't know much about it, but this is one of those like box sets that just has like, you know, it's probably a bare bones edition that just all matches of the guys. And a lot of it's like probably territorial like territory days, like the Memphis stuff and Texas and whatever else they could put out there. So maybe some Florida Championship Wrestling, maybe some Outlaw promotions. So anyways, I'm looking forward to checking it out. But here you go. Boom. But wrestling gold. So again, to stay in the VHS wrestling vein with some VHS, I'm not going to spend too much time because I'm not a huge Brock Lesnar fan. But I got a Brock Lesnar. Hold on, did I say Brock? Yeah, I was supposed to say The Rock. So here comes the pain. So I'm not for sure what to expect on this one, but this is obviously pretty turn of the century. This is 2003, so they were still making VHS at WWE in 2003. So there you have this one. So you have that, which I'm probably going to put in tonight. And this is the one I was really excited about. This one came out in 1994. This is pretty old. The hottest matches from the best SummerSlams of all time. SummerSlam, the greatest hits. So on this one, you're going to have Mr. Perfect versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Undertaker versus Kamala, which I'm super excited about that one. Yokozuna versus Lex Luger. I think that's the one. It's isn't that the one he has to slam Lex Luger like on some kind of carrier ship, like some kind of like Air Force, I don't know, like not Air Force, but Navy ship or something. Then you have Ted DiBiase versus Razor Ramon. So these are and it says, feel the heat of SummerSlam, the best matches of the SummerSlam's hottest event. So I don't know if that's the only matches that are on there, those 4 matches, or they're going to have some more. It's only 60 minutes long, so they're probably each one about 20 minutes long. So 20, well, that has to be less than, that wouldn't math, that math doesn't work, but you know what I mean. They're all 10, 15 minutes long, roughly. So I'm looking forward to the Kamala match with Undertaker, because I don't think I've seen that one since it first was released. Then lastly here is all the Blu-rays I picked up. So again, I think there was a premium for these. When I say premium, I mean like $2. And I think I still bought for most of them for $1. Now that I'm looking at this, I probably spent less than $30. I might have spent more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I probably spent more like between $20 and $25 with shipping. First up is The Great Escape. Right there with Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough. Also Charles Bronson, Donald Pleasance, who was also in Halloween. James Coburn. So there you have that one. So boom. Directed by John Sturges. Now this is I want to say this one is has like, yeah, this has a booklet in here and the Blu-ray. So there you have that. Next up is this one. I was a little bit miffed, but it's okay. I knew when I was getting it. It was My Bloody Valentine, the remake in 3D. But somebody put Quentin on every single disc and the cover. So I got to get some sort of like alcohol, not to drink, but to wipe that off. But this is supposed to come with 3D glasses. Don't worry, because something I'm going to show you next has like not even over like 5 pairs. And he just like, you can just take it all. I'm like, oh, okay. So somebody just showed like 5 pairs of 3D glasses in this one Blu-ray I'm getting ready to show next. But this movie was pretty brutal. I was surprised when they did the remake. I was like, it's going to kind of suck. It's never going to be as good as the original. Well, it's pretty good. You got Tom, the Mustache Atkins in here. This is probably one of his last like kind of quote-unquote major roles in a movie. He was already pretty old when he did it. He's still around. He's up there now. He has to be in his mid-80s. So next up is Friday the 13th 3D. And this was the one I was telling you about that they have, they put in here 4, not 1, but 4 3D glasses. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs of 3D glasses. So I got my 3D glass. Me and the whole family can watch this in 3D. So there you have the disc. I'm excited about this one because this one is the first, I think, aside from maybe the first Friday the 13th, the only other Blu-ray I have of any of the Friday the 13th movies. So I'm interested to see with my 3D glasses with all 4 of them, to put it on my big screen TV and see how it looks. Because Before I always had like a kind of a smaller flat screen or a boob tube. Back in the day, boob tube. And I never really felt like it did much. And I know if you had a 3D TV, it's supposed to blow your panties off, but I'm not paying for a 3D TV because they're already no longer in vogue. Next up is a 90s classic, City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, Bruno Kirby. I don't know if Bruno Kirby would be a name I'd say was starring, but I would have said Jack Palance, that's for sure. He's great in this. I sleep with one eye open. He sleeps with both eyes open. I can't remember what he says, but he's pretty hilarious. This probably has to be one of Jack Palance's last movies too. He was pretty old in this. But anyways, City Slickers. I haven't seen this movie since it first came out. Let's see if it says. I'm not gonna make you all wait like I did last. 1991. See, what is so hard? DVD, Blu-ray, 4H HD, or what is that? Is it 4K DVD or HD? How hard is it to put the freaking year the movie was released on the packaging? Why is that so hard? But anyway, City Slickers has an audio commentary by Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern, which I'm excited about, and the director. There's a bunch of featurettes. So I'm excited about this because I don't know if I saw this in the theater with my folks. I maybe did, but I know I watched it a lot at home, and it was a popular one around the Jason family. And then I got this one because, again, it's a Clint Eastwood classic, The Outlaw Josie Wells. My dad loves this movie. He always talks about this movie. He owns it. I'm sure he owns it on VHS and maybe DVD. I doubt on Blu-ray. But it has all new commentary and a new featurette with Clint Eastwood. Plus, there's a couple of vintage featurettes. But this was also directed by Clint Eastwood. And Chief Dan George is in this, which is pretty cool. John Vernon, who he's in a whole bunch of stuff in the 80s. It's like kind of like an authority figure, like a principal. I want to say he's in this, what is that one? Savage Streets. He goes, "Go F an iceberg." But he didn't say F. But anyways, Outlaw Josie Wells. I love this movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, and so I want to revisit it. So, Dad, we've been talking about it, so there you go. And then let's see here. I got this one. This one actually came with a slipcover, the only one that did. And I just watched this recently. I completely forgot I picked this up on Blu-ray. But I am looking forward to seeing it like on the big screen in Blu-ray because it probably will look even more crisp. It is The Meg from Megalodon. It stars Jason Statham from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and the Expendables movies. And I mean, he's a fantastic, Fast and the Furious franchise. You also have Li Bingbing. I'm not making fun of her. That is her real name. And you have Rainn Wilson, which is actually pretty hilarious in this. And Ruby Rose, who was in, I think, John Wick 2. And then she was in the canceled Batgirl, because she went super ultra woke in the show and did abysmal numbers, which is what happens every time you try to do that. And you got the inserts and the Blu-ray and DVD. They never learned their lesson. And she was a victim of that ridiculousness. So there you got The Meg. This says Creating the Beast. Chomp on this. The Making of Meg. This is actually a really good movie. If you like monster movies, you like animal attack films, you like good horror movies with like a pretty cool story. And it's not a remake. It's not a superhero movie. It's not a retread of another kind of thing. This is really cool. It's kind of like Jaws, except if Jaws had jaws inside of his jaws. So if you know what I mean. But yes, this movie is really good. And so highly recommend if you've not seen it. And they're releasing part 2 in the next couple of weeks. And it looks like it's going to suck because I think the only person who's back is Jason Statham. They probably threw whatever money they had for the budget at Jason and was like, "We got to have you back. You're like the main star from the movie and the only one of people will come and watch." So he is back. In the last movie, I am thrilled to get this on Blu-ray. I am sure this is not rare. I'm not claiming it is rare, but I have never seen this, I don't think. At least in my neck of the woods here in Indiana. It is The Rock on Blu-ray. Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Not Rocky Johnson's dad, but The Rock. Starring Ed Harris, Sean Connery, and Nicolas Cage. This is probably one of my favorite Sean Connery movies and Nicolas Cage movies, and really Ed Harris movies, to be honest. But Ed Harris is my favorite movie Ed Harris has ever been in is A History of Violence. If you've not seen A History of Violence, check that mofo out. You will not be disappointed. He is absolutely terrifying in that movie. Really good movie. He's not in it a whole lot, actually, but he does a great job in that movie. So anyways, but yeah, Nicolas Cage, before Nicolas Cage goes full Nicolas Cage, but you can tell there's a bunch of Nicolas Cage-isms in the movie. He does a whole bunch of stuff that you can probably tell that they're just like, let him have it, let him have that win, just make sure he's in the movie, keep him happy, let him change the character a little bit to make him look quirky and weird, and so it definitely goes down. But the thing I love about this is there's tons of special features. There's a commentary by Michael Bay and Jerry Bruckheimer, along with Nicolas Cage, along with Ed Harris. So that's pretty cool. Sean Connery couldn't be bothered to do the commentary. There's the world premiere. There's a feature about Navy SEALs, about Hollywood. Something about Hollywood Humphreys and T. I don't know what that means. Special effects, action effects, outtakes, Secrets of Alcatraz, interview with Jerry Bruckheimer. There's a lot going on this for, again, to get it for $1 or $2. Pretty awesome, dude. So anyways, guys, I will leave you again with this awesomest, I'm making up words now, of Clint Eastwood. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like it, comment, please subscribe if you're not subscribing. That would be great. But most importantly, at the beginning of this video, I was talking about some of the movies, like The Return of Oz, Flight of the Navigator, or Fright of the Navigator, Blu-rays and the VHS, wrestling, whatever you want to talk about. Just make some comments below. Let's have an interaction. I guarantee I will communicate back with you. I would just love to have that. But if you can like it, if you can, of course, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, that would mean a lot as well. But until next time, guys, I appreciate you all watching, and we'll do it again in the future. Peace.